All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome out. We're here with another Heroes Lounge cast. I'm excited for it. We had one last night, which was crazy. I was here in Division 3, where we are once again having a cast. This time, we're looking at the teams of Annie Oak League and Blackheart's Booty. So some very fine names there. We can go ahead and get started, but yeah, I'm excited for this one. It's our only best of 3 for the night. We will have one best of 3 tomorrow night to round out the weekend there, but for the moment, I just got invited to a lobby. Perfect. But let's talk about the teams real quick. So if we look at our teams here, we have on the left, because I forgot to put the tile here, boom, we have the standings. Currently, Annie Oak League going to be our left team for the evening. They are sitting at number 4, so they're technically the favorite team here. They're 3-1 with a 7-3 map score. So they have won 3 games, one of which was a 2-1, the others were a 2-0, and then they lost once 2-1. Whereas if you look at the other side, we have Blackheart's Booty sitting at 6-3 currently. So with a 3-1 overall, which puts them in number 7. So also doing very well right now. Very similar score, only difference being that when they did have their one loss, they lost 2-0 as opposed to 2-1. So both of these teams doing pretty well so far throughout the season, both having played 4 weeks and sitting at 4-1. So very good stuff to see from them so far. So with that being said, we can go ahead and bring you over to our maps, as those have already been banned, picked, what have you. So starting off, we did see that Annie Oak League got the first pick from the coin flip there. So Blackheart's Booty had the map pick. They banned out Dragonshire and Sky Temple, while we had Cursed and Tomb banned out by Annie Oak League. Blackheart's Booty decided to go ahead and take us to Ultrac Pass, yes, which is the icon that you see there. So we are going to be getting into that in a moment here. I unfortunately did not have my names typed up here, so I'm going to get those in really quick, and then we can go ahead and start. Alright, perfect. So we should hopefully be getting started in a moment. The teams were already ready. First time that they've had to wait for me, unfortunately. But hey, I'm happy to have that be the case, because it means that they're doing their jobs and making mine easy. An Ultrac Pass, starting off there. That's a map that I love a lot. It's one of my favorite maps. Very large, so it's macro focused in that way. But it's not too complicated. There's only really 2 types of camps. Each team has a siege camp, which you just do whenever you really want, and well, as soon as possible, if you are able to, is what I should be saying there. And then a boss camp at the top and bottom of the map, which can be used to get rid of some forts early if you win some team fights, or to apply pressure to help you out with the objective later on in the game, or to potentially end if you get a good push going with that. The objective requires a lot of time channeling and being able to control a zone, so you see a lot of focus around just that. Zone control, poke, having the sustain. So look for picks based around both the macro focus as well as the objective there, with looking for more sustained and poking kind of fights as we jump into our first map of the evening. So, first pick is going over to Annie Oak League here, which means they also get, of course, the first ban. Zool likely to be banned out or picked, as he is currently in a really powerful state. We'll have to see if any of the teams get rid of that. And we'll also have to see what happens around Deathwing, as he is also, of course, a highly contested hero. And yeah, so hopefully we will get our first ban here soon. It could be one of those. Might see the meta bans come out, but could also just be seeing some targeted bans. I know that these teams do have some very unique strategies that they like to run. I'm not sure if we've seen Blackheart's Booty pull out one of their trademark strategies this season or not, but this could be a map where they run it. But we're going to go ahead and see Junkrat banned out. And like I said, map very focused around poke and sustained team fighting, and Junkrat is one of the best at that. Also providing that great zone control with the traps, especially since after his rework, trap build is very powerful. We're going to see Ana banned out by the side of Blackheart's booty, so not wanting to have to deal with the nano boost, since that can just be so overwhelming in team fights if you aren't prepared to deal with it, or if you just don't want to deal with it. Looking at the side of Annie Oak League, I would expect to see just another either map or target ban here, as they're in the first pick slot, so anything that gets let through that they feel might be kind of overpowered, they can just take, and they're going to go ahead and ban the Li Ming, chosen a lot on this map for, like I said, the poke, which she is able to give. Looking now at the final ban, will we see the Zool getting taken away? That is something which I personally would expect to see here, and it is going to be the case. Zool just a little bit too strong right now. Don't want to have to deal with that, regardless of which team is in that situation. But we're going to see Vince Noir for Annie Oakley going ahead and picking up the Kael'thas to start out their draft. He has some great poke and also great wave clear, which is very effective because of the fact that the objective on this map mostly just acts like a meat shield. So if you're able to burn up the minions there, which are pushing in with it, that's the majority of the damage with the push being taken out. We're going to see Pikachu picking up the Thrall here, looking for a poke-based offlaner who can contribute a bit more in the team fights, trading off a bit of the bulk for some great poke and very strong ultimate abilities. And then Venturer going to go ahead and pick up the Rainer, another really solid hero right now, who has recently been buffed and is also very strong at taking out non-heroics, such as the objective or bosses or camps with the newly buffed Exterminator, so we'll have to watch for that. Quick picks onto the Lucio and Johanna. Johanna, of course, just being a solid overall tank right now, and then Lucio providing quick rotations as well as really good sustained healing. NyQuil calling it out in chat, and yes indeed, Blackheart's Booty is the team that ran quad support Illidan last season. I didn't want to say it because I don't know if we have any of them in here right now, but yes indeed, they did run it last season. That was an interesting match when I went against it, but against teams that weren't prepared for it, it was somewhat effective. Gonna see Rexar banned out here. Just a very powerful offlaner right now. Maybe even more of a target ban here, just getting rid of that. Whereas looking at the other side here, we're gonna see Jaina banned out, and again, a really solid hero. Just in general, great camp clear, great wave clear, and great team fight presence. So gonna take that away, as well as the potential synergy with Rainer, as he is able to benefit off of her slows if he decides to go into Ace in the Hole. So now 2 picks gonna come in here. We still haven't seen the tank or healer, and we're gonna see Mal'Ganis picked up, as well as Sylvanas. Sylvanas, of course, is considered very powerful by a lot of people right now, and for good reason. She's able to enable pushes to an extreme extent, as well as having really solid team fight, especially once you scale a bit into the late game. Last 2 picks here, we haven't seen any globals selected, and Deathwing is also still up with all of the damage in frontline really selected. Is Deathwing going to come in here? No, it's going to be Blaze and Phoenix. Blaze gives the bunker, which helps a lot in team fights, as well as also having a lot of poke for a frontliner, giving a very bulky frontline to the side of Annie Oakley here. And then Phoenix, just a solid solo laner, or solid ranged assassin who can function better than any other ranged assassin in holding that second solo lane on this map, as it is very far away as all of the lanes are very far away from each other. Healer pick now, and it's going to be Rhaegar. I know that one is just a comfort pick here for Blackheart's Booty, as well as the fact that it is just a hero who can provide pretty decent sustain, but also can provide aggression as well as a lot of macro help. So both of these teams, I love the fact that they have drafts very centralized around being able to supply the macro focus as well as the poke during the team fights over the objective. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to pull up a poll here so that the chat can decide who they think is going to win for this first game. Is it going to be Blackheart's Booty? Is it going to be Annie Oak League? I like both of these drafts equally, but I think that if I had to give it to either, I think I'd give it to Annie Oak League, mostly just because by the standings, they are the favorite currently. Of course, that being said, the standings do show that these teams are pretty equal, and I would expect that this will be a close match. I would honestly expect all three games here coming out. So let's go ahead and see what indeed ends up happening. As we're going to start on the left with the members of Annie Oak League. Starting off, we have Gola playing the Johanna. We've got Galeon? I don't know. I'm going to say Galeon on the Lucio. We've got Simon on the Blaze, Transformer on the Phoenix, and Vince Noir on the Kael'thas. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have, starting it out for Blackheart's Booty, Jaylon on the Mal'Ganis, McFlames on the Sylvanas, Venturer on the Raynor, Pikachu on the Thrall, and then Tanwal finishing it out on the Rhaegar. Both drafts pretty strong here. We do have one vote in favor of Annie Oak League in the chat. Gonna have to see who ends up coming out on top in the poll in a moment here, but it is currently looking like it is all favoring Annie Oak League. So definitely the favorites for the chat as well. We're gonna see Sylvanas starting out with the Shadow Dagger build, so looking for a bit more brawling and team fighting here, as well as that spread damage. But love the sprays coming out. I love the little brawl in the mid lane, but looks like neither team going to get too low here, as we already have the offlaners meeting each other in the top lane, and Rhaegar actually coming to catch the soak in the bottom lane, which is something that he's very useful for, as it looks like even looking like we're going to see an attempt at 4-man rotations. Definitely can work out if you get ahead in those rotations on this map, but also one of the more difficult maps, especially considering how frequently you want to be getting that camp, which we already see Annie Oak League on, as they do come out with 3 out of 3 votes, 100%. Chat is in their favor for this map, so let's go ahead and see if they're able to pull it out. Rhaegar and Raynor are going to be getting onto this camp here. We did see Ace in the Hole as the level 1 selection there for Raynor, so not going to be going into the Exterminator for extra race on the camps. Actually doing very well thanks to the fact that Rhaegar and Raynor have such powerful camp clear. Both of these camps coming out at very similar times, as we have Sylvanas holding out the bottom lane against Kael'thas for the moment. Nothing too exciting in the early game on this map. You do often see even the objective ignored a little bit, as the teams prefer to just wait until they're able to hit a power spike to really get aggressive and start having some fun happen. Level 4s come in slightly earlier for the red team, as they're actually getting pushed in quite a bit here by Transformer and Gola, but going to be able to clear out the camp and start pushing theirs in a little bit, although it's mostly cleared already as well. So the similar timing here resulting in both of these camps not really getting too much. And teams really just harassing each other back and forth. So far, looking at the quests, Sylvanas actually not able to get so many stacks so far. We'll have to see if that improves over the objective here. But Thrall also sitting at 9 out of 20 on his Echo of the Elements there. Lucio about halfway done with his level 1 there. And Kael'thas sitting at 6 out of his 20 globes to get him that ever important shield there. Looks like both teams, as I said, more just focusing on the wave clear at the moment. It is interesting to see we do have still Blackheart's Booty looking for more of a 4-man rotation here. And actually, faster now onto the siege camp. Raynor and Rhaegar are going to be able to clear that out much quicker than the members of Annie Oak League. As Gola looking to potentially poke onto these Guardians. If you're able to kill them, you can try and sneak a channel, but not going to be able to do so successfully. As I expected, we do have the camp coming out a bit earlier here but thanks to Kael'thas coming and helping, it's not going to be too much of an advantage in favor of Blackheart's booty. We'll see it meet probably about where we saw it last time, as opposed to here. We're going to see it probably just on this side of the bridge. And they're probably just about going to cancel each other out, as we do have the teams coming to clear it up. A bit of an attempt of a gank onto Simon. He's getting quite low, going to use his tap there in the top lane. But he's Blaze, he's nice and bulky, not going to be too worried about it. And the clear is going to be completed in the mid lane as Jaylon taking a lot of damage from Kael'thas with the nice knock up there. The Living Bomb spreading onto Rhaegar as well. Mal'Ganis is going to fall, and so is Rhaegar. That's 2 kills, first blood coming out for Annie Oak League as they push in their camp a little bit and now turn to look at the objective. Really well played there from them, as level 7s are in for both teams. We do have the Incinerator Gauntlets picked up by Blaze, so looking for the wave clear with his auto attacks, as well as a bit more poke potentially. Otherwise, everything looking pretty normal. We do have the Fueled by Torment there at 4 for Mal'Ganis. I do see that and the other talent, which is red, but whose name I do not remember. About 50-50 picks on those. But both very strong, as we're going to have a team fight breaking out. Gola taking a lot of initial damage, as well as Vincent on the Kael'thas. Going to go ahead and get dropped as Lucio's healing is not enough in this early game. Simon also going to fall. And with only 1.2 seconds left on the channel for the objective, we're going to see Blackheart's booty taking 3 kills for themselves and pushing in to start the channel of their own. Really nice team fight there. Did a great job punishing the clumping, and Sylvanas got a ton of damage out, even though she isn't super stacked yet. Looks like both teams just going to go ahead and try and soak out a little bit, as we do have Annie Oak League respawning. They should be able to at least get a little bit of a fight here, but not sure if they'll be able to cancel the channel here. Go ahead and pull away towns as we go ahead and look at this team fight. Nice knock up by Kael'thas onto 2 members. Jaylon, though, going to be jumping into the blue team, and they're not going to be able to complete the channel there. And not going to get anything in the team fight either, because of the fact that they had 2 members there just trying to sit in the back and channel. Objective now coming out for Blackheart's booty. So the objective on this map is very powerful, and Sylvanas definitely will be able to amplify it by taking out the towers, but we'll have to look to see if the wave clear is going to come into effect here. Lots of damage getting put on Sylvanas with a huge combo there. And shutting down these towers is going to allow them to break down the mid wall and really just the entirety of this wall here very effectively, pushing in with the 4 versus 3 as they are letting Kael'thas clear the top lane on his own, uncontested. Looks like actually a bit of a turnaround here. Guyline going in pretty deep there, but level 10s are in. We have 4 Blackheart's booty who selected him first. We have the Carrion Swarm, the Wailing Arrow, Sundering, Ancestral Healing, and Hyperion. Ooh, as we see, actually, the Sundering came out there to get the solo kill from Pikachu onto Simon on the Blaze, as level 10s are in for the side of Annie Oak League, and it looks like they're potentially going to try and sneak a boss up here in the top lane. They have Blessed Shield, Lucio still holding for the moment, the Purification Salvo, the Bunker, and the Phoenix. Looks like the boss is unnoticed, as we have 2 members of Blackheart's booty on this camp here, with 2 members in the bottom lane. They push in the waves, and it looks like they're starting to figure it out, but it's going to be too little too late, as it's already down to 1/3. Gola going to zone out Venturer here, going to actually go for the Hyperion. Oh, maybe it isn't too late, as looks like they're going to step up, not quite get it though. The Sound Bearer is going to end up being the ultimate ability pick for Guyline on the Lucio. Going to be able to save most of his teammates. Ooh, but a Living Bomb, the Ancestral, a bit too late. Going to be a 1-for-1 trade out in the end, as Venturer on the Rainer does end up falling, as well as we saw Johanna going down. Simon pushing in the bottom lane, but they need to be aware that in the middle lane here, this camp, it reduces the armor of structures. It was picked up by Blackheart's booty, and as you can see, it's pushing in very effectively, especially with this minion wave. It'll get a lot of damage on the fort, but luckily Simon is there to start clearing it up. That being said, looks like the boss defense has been pretty effective so far for the side of Blackheart's booty, as they're only going to lose about the front wall and the well there, whereas in the middle lane, we did see 2/3 or so of the fort going down, as well as in the bottom lane, Pikachu pushing in, taking a bit more chip off of that fort as well. Going ahead and looking at the stats here, looks like Rainer actually putting in a lot of work here, as well as Thrall. great poke from these two consistently throughout the game. And Phoenix currently, though, the highest in the game, sitting at 26,000 or so there on the hero damage. Blaze checking the boss in the bot lane. Nothing too fishy happening for either of these teams, as we're going to have the second objective of the game spawning. Both teams very even in experience still, despite the 2-kill lead coming in for the side of Blackheart's Booty. So we're going to see, looks like for now, with this siege camp, we're going to see Annie Oakley pushing in a little bit. Jaylon looking for the engage, going to get booped away, and the Blessed Shield also coming out, looking for some aggression here, going to force out the Carrion Swarm, but now it's a 4v3. Annie Oakley needs to be careful here as Goal is taking a ton of damage, doesn't have the trade up there, going to get hit by the Wailing Aerial, Silence ticking very low and going to go down. Purification Salvo coming out as well as the Bunker, going to do a lot of damage, but it isn't going to be enough. And now we're seeing Annie Oakley going to have to retreat as Simon on the Blaze also falling. Whew. Very good team fight there, punishing the overextension and the overaggression of Annie Oakley. And Blackheart's Booty now looking to get the channel started on this second objective of the game. Doing a great job baiting away the minions there so that they can start the channel early. We should see a potential fight here though for Annie Oakley, as level 13s have come in for both of these teams. As far as talents go, we are going to see a bit more of the auto attack / Q focused talent here for Sylvanas, so a bit of a hybrid build here. We're going to see both teams approaching. Phoenix still hasn't picked his level 13. Phoenix coming out for the zoning potential as well as the Blessed Shield. Vince Noir going to use that time to go ahead and secure the channel, as Sundering did come out for the disengage. Now, only ultimate abilities being up are going to be the Sound Barrier as well as Bunker in a few seconds here for Blaze. So in favor of Annie Oakley thus far, but they're already taking a decent bit of chunk. Jaylon taking damage as well as Vince Noir caught out in the top, gonna be taken down as the Bunker also came out. Lucio still has not used his ultimate ability, but it's a 4v5 at the moment, and I think that this is definitely not favorable for Annie Oakley, as we see Phoenix falling as well. Guyline just not able to find a good position to use his ult there, and with his Lucio's relatively weak healing pre-16, this is looking to be the second objective of the game, also going over to Blackheart's Booty. They're sitting at 9 kills to 3, and now up a level as well. Both camps were started in time, so it looks like we're going to see those both coming out much earlier here for Annie Oakley. It's only Rhaegar on the camp for Blackheart's Booty, but they're already splitting up and pushing in the lanes. Venturer and McFlames here in the top lane, already tearing down the front wall, with Pikachu and Jaylon pushing in the bot lane. Looks like Annie Oakley going to prioritize this boss lane here. Going to try and clear it out. Guylion looking for some aggression onto the Rainer. Blessed Shield coming out as well. Followed up very well there. The Wailing Arrow comes out, but it isn't going to be enough, as we're going to see the Purification Salvo and both of the DPS falling here for Blackheart's Booty. Nice collapse there from Annie Oakley, but the objective is pushing in. Bunker even being forced out in the bottom lane. Thrall able to do so much damage thanks to the Ancestral Wrath there at level 7. And we're also going to see the mid lane falling, so that's going to be 2 forts down for the side of Annie Oakley. They should be able to clear the rest of this up before any major damage happens. So overall, a pretty good defense here from them. Interesting level 1 pick that I didn't notice until now. We have the Adrenaline Stim Pack for Simon. So pairing it in with that Incinerator Gauntlets to get some powerful auto attacks coming through. That being said, looks like Blackheart's Booty going to push in the top lane a little bit, maybe hoping this minion wave will be enough to take out the fort there. Looks like Blaze might be going to defend that, and yes, he will be, as Phoenix sitting in the bot lane, and now talents even level, about half level lead here now for Blackheart's Booty, and it looks like a potential collapse here, but the speed boost from Lucio going to go ahead and get Annie Oakley out of there nice and safe. Really well played from Annie Oakley thus far. I think they've really suffered as a result of Lucio's weak early game healing. He definitely struggles before level 16 to get the big healing output out during team fights, but they've done a great job at making sure that they've stayed in this game and not fallen behind too much in structures or in XP. So we're going to see them, looks like, trying to potentially sneak another boss, or no, just checking it, it looks like. And then pushing in the top lane as the mid lane is pushed in with the camp of Blackheart's Booty. Gonna see a little bit of harass coming out here. Even the Blessed Shield actually and the Purification Salvo committed to, but the Carrion Swarm gonna negate most of it. That being said, Tanwall on the Rhaegar gonna have to self-ancestral to save himself. Lucio goes down before being able to use his ult. Looks like it did get interrupted there, and Johanna gonna fall as well. Consistently not having her shield, as she is using it a bit early, I think. Simon dropping the bunker to try and save himself, but not going to be able to. And just as the 3 heroes fall for the side of Annie Oak League, we have Blackheart Booty looking for a boss, and then probably the objective, as that has spawned as well. These team fights just pretty split here, I think, for Annie Oak League. They've had some nice, consistent blow-ups when they're able to target 1 or 2 heroes specifically, but they seem to be getting split up and harassed a lot here by the Sylvanas, by the Raynor, and by the Thrall, as there is a considerable amount of both sustained and burst damage here for the side of Blackheart's Booty if they're able to focus on that one target, and they have been thus far. Blaze almost back up, so we're going to see Annie Oak League go ahead and start onto this siege camp here, as we have the channel starting. Looks like about 20 seconds going to be given for free. Potentially even more, as it looks like Annie Oak League prioritizing the clear on this objective over the, on this boss over the objective for the moment. Mid lane going to get pushed out here by Pikachu. And only 15 or so seconds left here on this objective. Annie Oak League needs to make a move fast. They're coming over, ticking down about 10 now. Looking for the channel, but Lucio isn't going to be able to use any abilities here. The poke is coming out. Bunker as well. They're trying to get this channel, but the Hyperion is so effective at rejecting that channel. They're going to have to back up, focus on the team fight. Lucio did use his ultimate ability. The Sundering comes out, splits out Phoenix, takes him down. We are seeing a lot of damage coming onto the side of Blackheart's Booty, but no kills are finished, and we're seeing Phoenix and Blaze both dropping there. I think Annie Oak League stayed way too long clearing that boss. It is dangerous, but it wasn't likely to get the keep if they got it down to about half health. And so we're seeing Mal'Ganis putting in so much work, and the follow-up from his teammates with the damage. The Sunderings have been huge this game, and now level 20 is up in favor of Blackheart's Booty as they're pushing in with this devastating late-game objective, and up 2 people. Looks like we're going to see Annie Oak League opting to start off clearing in the top lane, while the entire 5-man of Blackheart's Booty is going to threaten the bottom lane. I think it's unlikely that they get the game-winning push here if they all in on the cord now, as it is going to have 40 armor, and it looks like they agree, as they're going to now focus onto the mid lane, using Sylvanas' trait there. We're going to see Phoenix back up, using the Purification Salvo immediately. It is worth noting that without the slows coming out from Lucio or some other source, that does much less damage. But that being said, Rhaegar falling low, gonna have to use his Storm Shield there. Simon in very deep on the Blaze, gonna use Bunker again just to save himself, but it isn't gonna be enough. The Wailing Arrow comes out immediately as the Bunker drops, and he's going down. The boss is already down to half health. Transformer on the Phoenix hits very low and goes ahead and drops Soundbearer a tidbit too late. 2 kills in favor of Blackheart's Booty, and that is going to be enough to finish the first game in their favor. GG. Exceptionally well played there from Blackheart's Booty. Great first map. They had some wonderful team fights, really punished Simon on Blaze for overextending, and did a great job of separating and causing a lot of chaos in the team of Annie Oak League, which is exactly what heroes like Sylvanas need to be able to get that value, as we did see a lot of damage coming out from her, but Raynor actually, with the ace in the hole, putting out an insane amount of damage, topping the stats for that game. Gotta say, I was with the chat there. I expected Annie Oak League to at least put up a bit more of a fight, but All-Track can be a more snowbally map, so we can I definitely don't think they're out of it. I think they have a very good chance at coming back in one of these upcoming maps. Nyquil in chat saying Mal'Ganis is insane. I'm inclined to agree after seeing that. Definitely putting in a lot of work there. unfortunately, these teams, it looks like, are just DMing each other, so I'm not going to be seeing the map pick here until I get invited. But that should hopefully be very soon. But yeah, great first map here from Blackheart's Booty. Wonderful coordination in team fights. I think their macro game was a bit better than Annie Oakleig's. They did miss out on a few things, like there was the boss, which was stolen away in the top lane, as well as we saw the two-person gank in the top lane, taking out both of the DPS right before an objective pushed in. But otherwise, they seem to be getting their camp timings better. They seem to be getting push in better. They seem to be winning the solo lane matchups a lot. Thrall seemed to just be kind of pushing Blaze back consistently. So it'll be interesting to see what Annie Oakleigh does to turn that around. Will they go for a map pick, decide to go to a map like Volskaya potentially? I'll even pull up what we have so far for the maps. So you can see Volskaya, Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity, very brawl-based maps, maybe less macro-focused up there potentially. But I think also we'll have to see an adjustment in the draft strategy, as the draft there was very, very strong for Blackheart's Booty. Obviously something that they were comfortable with. Alright. Hopefully should be getting an invite here. And there it is. Wonderful. Looks like our second map is going to be Infernal Shrines there. Nice. So the classic pick here looks like it is going to be first picked up here by Annie Oakleigh. So the map pick by Blackheart's Booty. They were able to take all track pass convincingly, so I expect if they're taking it to Infernal Shrines, it's either just because they don't think there's a map that they really feel super powerful on, or they just think that their team fight was better and that they're going to be able to similarly dominate in this, as we're going to see hopefully them all getting into the lobby here soon. I'm excited. I actually haven't seen Infernal Shrines in a bit. It has definitely fallen off in popularity. In the last few seasons, I think HGC ending kind of led to a bit more of an embrace to the other maps that we have in the pool. I see a lot of Volskaya play. I see a lot of Cursed Hollow and Alterac play. Lots of maps that just weren't classically played a lot. Alterac, of course, not played at all in the competitive scene, as it did unfortunately come out just before the fall of HGC. But I'm happy to see the map variety. I haven't been here in a week or two, so happy to see Infernal Shrines getting the love, as it is a classic map here. Alright, should hopefully be going ahead and getting into our map here any moment now, as we have the R's coming through and we're jumping into Infernal Shrines. Nyquil already giving a vote of confidence for the side of Annie Oakleigh. I'll go ahead and get the poll typed up pre-draft so that we can get that going partway through. Alright, so to start off, we have the Junkrat ban again, so maybe more of a target ban there, although he can definitely be very powerful on this map, as the AoE team fighting is very important here, as well as being able to zone off the shrine with the potential for double traps, and also the Ana ban coming out again. So far, identical bans coming out real quick here from these teams. I believe the next ban here, ooh, that's a good question. It was on to, I know we had Zool as the second ban for Blackheart's Booty, which I would expect to see again, but I don't recall exactly what it was. I believe maybe it was the Jaina, but we're going to go ahead and see Kael'thas banned out here, as his AoE, as well as being able to put the fire bombs there onto the minions, is very dangerous on this map, and they don't want to have to go against it, but they don't maybe feel that it's first pick worthy after how it worked out for them in the last game. And no, it's going to be this time the Gul'dan for Vince Nor. So going to be opting for a different AoE based mage here. This is definitely probably one of the strongest maps for Gul'dan. This Entomb, very, very good for him. If you're able to get some good Horrifies, you can destroy the team fights over the shrine, as well as just being able to clear. But we're going to see the Sylvanas Enthrall picked up again. 2 picks that they showed last game, and which were extremely effective, winning the solo lane, doing great in team fights. Gonna have to see how those are addressed now by Annie Oakleague. So we have potential here for another Johanna pick. We could see the Mal'Ganis taken away. We could see a healer pick here. Lots of things still up. And it is going to be the Mal'Ganis taken away, as well as the Raynor denied here to Blackheart's booty. Both heroes were very effective in the last game, so makes sense that they want to get rid of those. That being said, let's all remember Deathwing is still up in the air. Was completely let through last game, but you can never count him out to come into a draft late game if you feel that you're comfortable with it. And it could also be something that ends up getting banned out here, as his presence on the shrine, especially in the ranged form, widely considered the stronger form now, is very powerful. But we're going to see Brightwing and Murky banned out, so looks like some fun bans here. Maybe some misclicks there, just kind of goofing around, having some fun. Gonna take out some cheesy stuff there. Good, always good to see some teams that are comfortable with each other, enjoy joking around. We're gonna go ahead and see the ETC coming in, as well as the Lucio this time swapping hands over for Tanwall on the side of Blackheart's booty. So interesting, looks like we're going to see some overlaps in the hero pools here. I think ETC and Gul'dan, the only new heroes in this draft so far. That being said, we now have the offlane pick. I don't think we see the Blaze here necessarily. It did get shut down pretty hard by the Thrall in the last game. And no, it's going to be the Leoric as well as the Ariel, hoping to use that Raynor as a powerful battery, as well as potentially the Gul'dan with his damage over time. And then Leoric going to give great clear onto the shrine, as well as some devastating potential for team fights with the Wraith Walk build with the Entomb. I'll go ahead and start the poll now, so feel free to vote. See who you think is favorite here. I don't think we're going to see a Deathwing, as we do have Leoric and Gul'dan, who I consider very strong against him. And no, it's going to be Tychus, so looking to burn down the chunky front line here on the side of Annie Oakleague. Alright. Tychus also, it's worth noting, this is widely considered one of his best maps because of the fact that, similar to Alexstrasza, he has Commandeer Odin, which is very powerful for just zoning out the objective for a long period of time. If you're able to get up 20 or 25 shrine minions, you can pop that and pretty much force the Punisher to come out in your favor. Alright. Up one is Blackheart's booty. We're going to have to see, are they going to be able to pull it out in this game? The Tychus, kind of old-fashioned, hasn't really been in the meta too much recently, but I think that they can definitely make it work. That being said, both drafts very strong. Ariel has the potential for a resurrect if these team fights aren't too snowbally for the side of Blackheart's booty, as well as the Aegis for the save potential. Gonna load nice and quick into the game there. Had to take a quick drink of water. I thought the load-in was gonna be a bit longer there, but no. We're gonna start off here with the side of Annie Oakleague. Gola on the Mal'Ganis, Guy Lion on the Ariel. We're gonna see Simon on the Leoric this time, Transformer on the Raynor, and coming out of base we've got Vince Noor on the Gul'dan. For the opposing side, we have Jaylon on ETC, McFlames reclaiming the role on the Sylvanas, Venturer now on Tychus, Pikachu on the Thrall, and Lucio played by Tanwall. We're going to have Forgiveness coming out for the fact that we do have the banned mount. Really not much of a problem if the teams don't care about it, and I don't think there's any bugged interactions, maybe with the Tychus in the Odin, but we're going to go ahead and start off. We are going to see the Winged Guard, recently fixed, picked up here for Mal'Ganis. Going to try and eat up a bit more of that auto attack damage. As well as, interestingly enough, we have the Veteran Marksman for Raynor, has been buffed recently, so looking for the dings here, trying to get some stacked up damage on his trait. A nice power slide there from Jaylon, and it's going to result in first blood, this time coming out in favor of Blackheart's booty. Going to get a nice pick there onto the Rainer as he was not stutter stepping and was punished. We're going to see the 4-man rotations a bit in favor here, potentially for the side of Blackheart's booty, although it looks like maybe stopping the 4-mans for a moment. And we have Sylvanas even just staying in the mid lane. We're going to have to see if they do choose to go for the 4-man rotations. They definitely can with Lucio, but for the moment, both teams focusing instead onto their camps, as we did see Tychus ganking Simon, something they did do last game, and doing again this game, gonna help offset that off lane in the early game. Camp coming out a bit faster this time for the side of Annie Oak League. Gul'dan and Rainer both giving great camp clear. And we're gonna see already 7 stacks on the Echoed Corruption there for Gul'dan, so a nice start into the game here for him, as they're looking to use that camp clear to go ahead and take the second siege camp here, the neutral one in the bottom lane. It is going to be a Mortar Shrine in the bottom lane here for the first objective, so we expect to see these teams going for their bruiser camps here pretty soon. Gonna try and use those to push the far lane during the objective potentially, or look to push in the bottom lane with the siege camp that they've already claimed. Rainer for the moment pushing in, has Ariel nearby just in case something happens, but we're going to see Gul'dan coming into the middle lane to help clear, as this siege camp is going to be pretty effectively taken out. And we see Thrall and Tychus starting onto the bruiser camp, as mentioned, for Blackheart's booty. No move yet for the side of Annie Oak League. Looks like it is going to be started off here now by Vince Noir on the Gul'dan and Guy Lion on the Ariel. A bit slower clear, but if they're able to get out in time and get to the objective, this could work out in their favor, as it might mean that we're going to see the bruiser camp for the side of Blackheart's booty instead clashing at the towers, so losing out in the bruiser versus bruiser little conflict there. Both teams got a few members here on the point. I think the AoE a bit in favor to start off for the side of Blackheart's booty, as we're going to see a ton of damage going into Golub. Root and a stun, going to lock him down, and he's going to go down, getting the first kill, as we have Leoric actually clearing out the top lane, not even coming to the objective yet. Looking at level 4s, we do have in the rhythm here for Tychus, so looking to stack on his trait, get some additional damage. Lots of damage coming on a Transformer, and that is the power of Tychus. He is he's known for his ability to kill anyone. He does not discriminate. That percentage damage on his trait is effective against anyone. Showing it off very well here against Rainer and against Melganis. They're going to get an easy first Punisher here, as well as a tiny bit of XP lead, but Leo soaking the top lane, going to help them out, even taking a little bit of damage into this wall. Looks like Guy Lion going to go ahead and bait, not too worried about any follow-up, as they do see the members of Blackheart's booty are split across the map looking for soak. So looks like the front wall gonna fall thanks to Sylvanas' trait, as well as a bit of damage on onto the fort, but probably not too much more here. Transformer actually taking a lot of damage from the Punisher. Maybe we are going to see more coming down here, as the Punisher here really threatening against the side of Annie Oak League, and the fort actually going to be going down. So well played here from the side of Blackheart's booty. Leoric going actually for an interesting build here. We have the Ghastly Reach and the Hopelessness here, so potentially looking for more of a Drain Hope based build here in this match. Thanks to the fact that he will have that large slow with the heal here, and then the range going to give him a bit more power and a bit more maneuverability while being able to keep the Drain Hope up. Otherwise, teams still pretty even, and this is something that Annie Oak League did well last game and has done well so far this game. They've kept up in their experience, which is always good to see, because when you have a struggling early game against a hero like Tychus, who can just kill people very easily from the first second, it's nice to be able to have that ability to stay in the game, as we're actually seeing a lot of damage put onto Jaylon. Gonna use his tap, but it's actually gonna be Transformer falling, as we see the Thrall coming in for the gank. Really good rotations here again from the side of Blackheart's Booty. They're just executing it so well. Simon getting the Drain Hope onto Pikachu, but sensing that something's afoot, gonna try and Wraith Walk away, but not gonna get far enough, gonna go down as well. He should be back very soon thanks to his trait, but that is 5 kills to 0, and the XP lead is starting to show a bit now. We have half a level lead here now for the side of Blackheart's Booty, and the level 10s coming in, as we're gonna have the Wailing Arrow, the Mosh Pit, the Sundering, the Sound Barrier, as well as the Draken Laser Drill, or just the drill there. On the other side, we do have Carrion Swarm. Ariel currently holding, not sure if she's going to go for the Resurrect. Nice use of the Carrion Swarm there. We have Hyperion, Entomb, and Horrify, but a huge mosh onto 4 members. Transformer not having the penetrating round to deal with it, but Gul'dan going to be the only one ending up falling. Tried to use the Horrify to save himself, but not quite able to. A bit of split focus there is going to mean that it was initially only 1 kill, but Mal'Ganis going in a bit deep, going to be taken down as well. We're going to see the Resurrect locked in for Ariel, going to get Mal'Ganis back in the game. And the Shrine is going to be an arcane one here in the mid, as we're going to have the Bruiser Camp started off first again for Blackheart's Booty, making great rotations. Going ahead and looking at stats here, Tychus putting in so much work so far in this game, doing a ton of damage against that bulky front line, able to auto attack quickly enough that the block charges aren't going to be too powerful for Mal'Ganis, and really just using that percentage damage in coordination with the CC to get some early leads into the team fights here. That being said, as Simon actually on the Leoric is taking a ton of damage, Venturer and Tanwall going to get slept. Some huge CC coming out from Gola, as well as a nice Entomb onto McFlames, but Leoric will be the first to fall here during this team fight. Again, in the favor of Blackheart's Booty so far, a nice Sundering going to hit all 4 members. Horrify just used to peel as McFlames chases, but not going to be able to get any additional kills. That's both of the front line down for Blackheart's Booty, trading up 2 kills to none. As Annie Oakley losing those members, going to have to give another Punisher here. Leo even going to take a bit of poke here, not too much though, as we do see the Arcane Punisher claimed here. And I think really these team fights just seem to be, the coordination just seems to be in favor of the side of Blackheart's Booty. They're just consistently being the ones who are dictating the way that these fights go, thanks to the Sylvanas burst, thanks to the great CC and follow-up here from Jaylon. That being said, Hyperion coming out, and the defense is being started here. Gola taking a ton of damage, trying to use the Fell Swipes to get out, but Gul'dan and Mal'Ganis both falling. Camp pushing in alongside this Punisher. The fort is going to go down, and they're going to start pushing into this keep wall, as all of them. During the meanwhile, we have Simon with his Bruiser Camp pushing in, gonna trade out and take the top fort here. So overall, despite the kills, not too bad of a trade if Annie Oakley is able to keep this keep alive, but they have been kind of realized. A really great play here by Blackheart's Booty. They're gonna see that Leoric is in the top lane, still 2 dead for a bit longer, and they're going to take the first keep of the game decently early here with this second objective as a result of the attempted trade there for Annie Oakley. So really well played from them. Looks like we're going to see that that's the stuff, something that traditionally isn't seen a lot with In the Rhythm, because of the fact that In the Rhythm makes it take a lot longer for you to get that potential healing. But now a 3v5, finally a fight potentially in the favor of Annie Oakley. A great gank. The Sound Barrier tries to come out, but the first kill here for Annie Oakley gonna come onto the Tychus. Horrify coming out, but not quite landing onto Jaylon in the direction that they wanted it to. He's gonna be able to get out, and Vince Noir and Simon both getting very low. They're gonna take the 1 kill and potentially go for this camp, but they are much lower, and Jaylon gonna slide in, get the first kill, get the second kill, get the 3rd kill with the Sundering there from Pikachu, and every fight turning in favor of Blackheart's Booty so far, just doing a great job of focus fire and punishing the clumping here, as Pikachu gonna catch onto the Gul'dan there, making it 4 kills for 0 and taking the camp here. So really well played from them. Also seeing now a 2-level lead, so what looked like a game where XP wasn't going to play too much of a factor yet is now a huge lead here. Talent up for the side of Blackheart's Booty, and they are looking good in the stats too. Tons of damage. Thrall actually sitting at the highest for his team currently, but Tychus very close behind. Simon looking for an Entomb, gonna force out the Wailing Arrow, but not going to get much else off of it. Just kind of zoning away as much as they can, as in the mid lane some catapults building up, but it's early enough that it's not really going to matter here. Alright, so Lucio has hit his power spike. That is something worth noting. He has hit level 16, so his healing is going to be considerably better thanks to the Rejuvenescencia that we're going to see for him, giving him a lot of healing here with that percentage heal, as well as some nice talents for the rest of the team. This is going to be a fight down talents if Annie Oak League wants to take it, but they do have their second keep at risk here, as it is going to be in the bottom lane, looking at a Frozen Punisher here for our third objective. And Blackheart's Booty going to immediately start that out, already getting quite a big lead, and it looks like Annie Oak League is just going to accept the defense. They know they're down 16. Clearing out the camp, pushing in the top lane where they do have the advantage thus far, which is something that's very nice for them. There hasn't been an objective in the top lane yet, so it's likely to be there soon. And if they are able to survive, hold on long enough, having that win condition opened in the top lane could be very, very big if they're able to get one miracle fight. That being said, they're down 16, not going to be able to get a fight here. Looks like maybe wanting to try and get a flank here onto the back behind the Punisher, but we're seeing Blackheart's Booty rotating very safely, sticking all near the Punisher, not going to let that happen. And now, rotation a bit awkward here. The slide and jump onto Gola. The Tychus doing so much damage with his trait. That is a kill onto the main tank here. Even with the the Ominous Wrath there from Simon, it's not going to be enough to save him. Simon's going to take a ton of damage, drop as well, and that is 2 kills in favor of Blackheart's Booty. They're pushing in. Sylvanas has locked it down, but oh my goodness, Gul'dan doing so much damage with the corruption there, but Lucio just healing up so quickly, and now it is 3 versus 5, and a Punisher on this defense. Raynor disappears as the coordinated jump from the side of Blackheart's Booty. GG being called. Vince Noir doing his best, but not going to be enough. This is game number 2 going in favor of Blackheart's Booty. GG's, well played. Very well played there by the side of Blackheart's Booty. I expected this series to be very back and forth, and while the first map did have some strong moments for Annie Oak League, ultimately we did see it come out in favor of the side of Blackheart's Booty, and very commandingly so, especially on that second map. Man, chat and I wrong 100% of the time tonight. No one voted for Blackheart's Booty in either of those maps. Granted, it was only, I think, a combination of 6 total votes throughout the night, but that's still 6 out of 6 were in favor of Annie Oak League, as they are going to unfortunately take their second loss of the season here. I'm not sure, I don't recognize some of the names there on their team, so maybe just working with some newer members or some substitutes this map, but unfortunately gonna take the loss there. Very, very well played though from Blackheart's Booty, and their win is well deserved. Alright, gonna try and get us a interview here, potentially with one of the members of Blackheart's Booty. If I can get this seem to work correctly. All right. There we go. Currently no response here. I'll give it a moment to see if they are going to go ahead and respond. But for the moment, I'll bring it back to me, as we're going to have, of course, it's showing the interview setup that I had there, so my face was nice and split. All right. Yeah, so, okay, so it does look like there were some roster changes or losses there potentially for Antioch League. So that's always something that's rough. I've had that happen before, and adjusting to a new roster, especially early in the season or partway through the season. I guess at any point, having to adjust is a little bit rough there. Unfortunately, it looks like we are having the captain here for Blackheart's Booty offline. I'll keep the stream running for a moment longer, but it looks like, unfortunately, not going to be able to get the interview coming through here. But hey, that's all right. We had a great series. I appreciate everyone who was able to come out and join for the stream tonight. I'm gonna let me look here for someone to go ahead and raid over to. All right, let me look at my categories here. Look at Heroes of the Storm. See who we've got streaming potentially. All right. And yeah, looks like we're not going to get anybody coming in here, unfortunately, as far as the interview goes. But hey, it happens. We had a very nice stream. I had a blast casting. I always do. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for the evening. Thank you for those who came out. Hope you guys have a great evening as well. I'll catch you all later.